I actually made close to $200,000 drop shipping US and European products in actually 3 months. And the first thing I really did was I paid attention to the budget for my store because a lot of folks actually are trying to really be a little limited when it comes to budgeting and drop shipping. And I said to myself, if I want to reach a quarter of a million, what should I invest in that store to really reach my goal, right? That's an important element to really pay attention to. So I started thinking about everything I needed to really pay for to actually get a very solid store. Basically, do a research about dropshipping suppliers, paying attention to a promotion, paying attention to the platform where I actually hosted the dropshipping store, right? So that's really important. That was my very first element. A lot of folks talk about, well, zero drop shipping. No, there's not such a thing as zero drop shipping. I knew from day one that if I wanted to make money, drop shipping any kind of product, European products, US products, Asian products, whatever, I needed to really invest in basically the whole journey. Okay, so I put aside about $5,000 for everything. Now, $5,000, that's a lot of cash, right? But a lot of the money went for the actual purchase of the products. But things like website hosting, things like website promotion, whatever, that's probably about $1,000. Okay, but the 4 grand, that's for the product that I wanted to buy. So that's the first thing I really paid attention to. I paid attention to my store, how much I wanted to budget for the store. And then I went about choosing the niche. And the thing is that there are a lot of, when it comes to drop shipping, you have a lot of niches, right? You hear experts saying, listen, you got to really choose a niche, blah, 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 blah. But I say to myself, I'll go with one niche and then I'll pivot to another niche. And I was really successful in trying to really make sure that I was choosing the right niche. So I started with pet products. So that was my primary niche. And then I was thinking about, okay, if I start with pet products, then I can go with anything else, okay? Because see, the thing is, pet products, people think, well, it's only food, pet food. No, you can think about pet gear. You can think about pet toys. So I really was covering the whole 9 years, if you will. I was covering everything that related to pets. Okay, so that was something that I really did from the get go, and you can see actually on the screen here, basically a couple of pet products. Okay, you can see a very diversity, and the thing is that I was very happy because my research through Google Trends showed that basically it was a very good choice from the get go because a lot of folks are searching for pet products anyway. I mean, people are always interested in knowing what's happening, how to really take care of their pets. So that's really fantastic. I was actually able to make close to $200,000 in 3 months by dropshipping US and European products because I really paid attention to my target audience. See, the whole thing is that when you actually dropship online, maybe you can think about maybe just going after several target audiences at the same time. But in my case, I said to myself, I'm going to focus on those who really are pet parents, but also pet lovers. See, the thing is, you can have a pet, right? But if you don't have the money to take care of that pet, like the actual cash, this is a problem. So you can be a good pet parent, but you got to be, if you are a sugar daddy or a sugar mommy, that's what I was going after. I wanted to go after those pet parents who could really afford all the products I was selling. Okay, because I was selling a lot of like a variety of products, right? And I wanted to really reach as many pet parents as possible. So I paid attention to my target audience. Okay, that's an important element, and my target audience is really all over the world. I mean, I didn't care about having folks in the states. I have folks overseas. I have folks in Europe. I have folks in Asia. I have folks in Africa. I have folks in Latin America. I have folks everywhere. Because the most important thing is if you are a pet parent and you can afford my products, for me, that was the most important element. And I knew that the target audience I was really paying attention to, they are probably between 21 and 50. 21 or 50, 55 years old. Okay, that was an important element for me from the get go, and they could really afford paying the product that I was selling because I wanted to sell very let's say I would say a decently priced product, not too expensive, not too cheap. Also, just the right middle to be able to really get very high margins. Okay, and then I really went about choosing the right winning product. And again, if you are a pet parent, there are some products that people love all the time, like pet toys, pet foods, pet gear, right? Well, really, whatever made the parents happy, whatever made the parents comfortable, I just chose those products, okay? And I wanted to really understand that I had to think about where to get the drop shipping products, like Spockets, for instance, okay? I really wanted to have a drop shipping supplier that was really going to be there and provide us the products real fast. So that was an important element to really think about. One way that I made close to $200,000 in 3 months by dropshipping US and European products really had to revolve around how I build a store. See, the thing is, when you think about building a store, you have several ways of doing it. You can really go to a website builder and basically go like choose a template and hire like a webmaster, a web designer to really polish the product for you. If you're not into web design yourself, right? Now, what I did was I actually just paid a little more. I paid some freelancers on Fiverr and Upwork.com to really take care of the customization of the store for me. So basically, I chose a WordPress store. I mean, you could have chosen like let's say a Shopify store or a Wix store, whatever. I chose a WordPress store, and because I just felt like it had more customization capabilities. Okay, so things like having a web page, having a homepage. Really, I customized it. I really paid attention and I paid some cash also when it comes to branding, because see, I wanted the pet owners to feel comfortable when buying from my store. So branding was important, and branding was all over the place in terms of colors, in terms of the fonts I was using, in terms of and all those fonts they had a canine or sort of, let's just say, a feline or canine sort of allure. So you need to feel like, hey, listen, this is a store that really was about selling pet products. Okay, and by the way, this was not just about cats and dogs. I mean, it was about all kinds of pets anyway, like birds, parrots, whatever. Okay, but I'm just giving you an example of dogs, and like so you have an idea what kind of angle I was looking at. I paid attention a lot also to the product descriptions, and the product description was an important element because I wanted to speak really to the hearts and minds of those pet owners and really have a conversation with them. I also paid attention to the product photos. Very important. I always wanted to have sharp colors. I wanted to have like a high resolution pictures, and that was an important element. I mean, I didn't really spend money on anything. I just took my iPhone and I just took pictures with my phone. And the funny thing is, the pictures came out fantastic. Another way I was able to get close to $200,000 in 3 months by dropshipping U.S. and European products was actually it had to do with the gateways that I chose, the payment gateways. See, the thing is that when you think about having a dropshipping store, if you want to sell lots, if you want to sell a lot of products, and you want to sell products real fast, the payment gateways has to be there. And I'm not just speaking about having PayPal or Stripe or to check out. You got to have a payment gateway that gives you your money real fast. A payment gateway that's also trustworthy, because your customers must trust the payment gateway. Because if you have a dodgy, quote unquote dodgy or pretty obscure payment gateway, folks are not going to trust your store and they're not going to buy from you. So I knew that right off the bat. I just knew that I had to really do something. So I ended up going with PayPal and to checkout. Why? Because Stripe was a little complicated for me. I mean, they were asking questions, blah 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 blah, and I felt like, you know what, they're just wasting my time, and I didn't want to waste my time, and that was an important element for me from the get go. And so PayPal was more accommodating. I really felt like they wanted my business. They wanted to really work with me, so I was willing to work with them too. Okay, so when it comes to payment gateway, just make sure that you think a lot about the the how do I say it, the checkout page. Okay, I paid attention a lot to the checkout page, and on the checkout page, what I did was I put everything like the fonts, the icons, the vectors, the illustrations. Everything had to be. It has to mimic a canine, a feline, an animal, a pet sort of environment. I did that. So when my customers went to the checkout page, they felt like, you know what, they were already happy in the product they're buying. Their product is going to make their pets very happy, right? So I really created some kind of atmosphere, kind of similar to when you watch like Disney movies. You know, like when you watch Disney movies, you feel like, hey, listen, this is a child environment, but it's also an adult environment. That's what I actually try to that's what I try to recreate through this store. So everything really made the customer happy about the purchase that he or she was going to make. So that's an important element to think about. Another way I was able to make 178, 179, 180,000 dollars in 3 months by dropshipping US and European products was to really pay attention to marketing. See, the thing is that you're not the only dropshipping store. I think you need to really get that in your mind that no matter how talented you think you are, the only market. You're not the only dropshipping store. So if you don't invest in marketing, nobody's going to know you. Okay, nobody's going to know how good you are or how good your products are. And pet dropshipping is a very competitive field. Okay, and you have tons of stores. So for you to really come out, for you to really stand out, you have to really invest. Invest just means that you have to really. So what I did in my case, I invested in Facebook and Instagram ads. I mean, people say, "Well, go to YouTube." I mean, YouTube is kind of cool, but YouTube or even Google are good for certain things. But in my case, I really invested big time on Facebook and Instagram ads. I just felt like they were more targeted for me, and Facebook did a nice job of actually defining my target audience for me. And I paid attention a lot to let's say A/B testing. So I wasn't going with one version of ads. I was constantly tweaking the ads. I was constantly tweaking the ads based on the feedback that Facebook advertising platform was giving me. Okay, so that's what I did a lot. And one thing I paid attention to, I just followed everything that Facebook told me to really follow in terms of their ads. So they were telling you to specify your campaign objective, your demographics, the targeting strategy, the placement, the ad copy, and I just followed everything they just told me, and it really turned out pretty well. Okay, and basically, my daily budget for the Facebook and Instagram ad was about $5 to $10, and then as I saw the results, I increased it a little bit to $15 to $20. Long story short, I wasn't paying a lot for advertising. Like to make $200,000, you don't have to spend like 1,000 or $3,000 on ads. The less you spend on ads, the better, because you want to target the right audience. If you spend a lot on Facebook ads or Instagram ads, that's because you're not really targeting the right audience. One thing you need to understand here is that Instagram is more visual and Facebook is more general. So if you think about Instagram, you have a younger audience, and Facebook, you have a more general audience. So be careful there. So think about actually, how do I say it? You want to filter the right audience before you actually roll out your ads. That's going to help you big time. It's also going to help you actually reduce your cost, and that's an important element to really think about. You want to reduce the cost of your ad campaign. To actually be able to make close to $200,000 in 3 months by dropshipping US and European products, I paid attention a lot to abandoned carts. I think I've said to you a little earlier that basically when you go to the checkout page, I already had a an animal slash sort of jolly environment there. So because I wanted to make my customers happy about the purchase they are about to make, right? Now, there are a couple of reasons why people actually abandon carts, right? Maybe because the shipping is too high, or the price is too high, or they just changed their mind. Okay. So what I did was I actually deployed SMSs, WhatsApp, and Messenger messages to actually remind people of the good things that they're about to do by buying from me. Okay, so I had follow up, and those follow up I just set them up automatically. I realized that WhatsApp was really good in my case. WhatsApp and Messenger, Facebook Messenger, were really powerful in my case because they were communicating to my potential customers right away. Okay, and it's one of those things where you have to understand, if you don't really take risk, you cannot really get to the core of your target audience. And I knew that right off the bat. Okay, and also what I also did in terms of checkout pages, that is to really understand why a customer might potentially abandon his or her cart in the first place. Okay, that's an important element for me to really pay attention to. I also paid attention a lot to the upsell. I was like, if somebody bought like a one product from me, and I realized that this product actually will go well with another product, I would just upsell that person, and that worked pretty well for me to actually increase the average average cart value that I ended up having. So one thing I want to say here is that like the takeaway from selling dropshipping, like dropshipping US and European products in the last quarter, is to really understand, and really doing so successfully, is to understand that this is not actually a 9 to 5 job. Okay, sometimes I was working late at nights, sometimes early in the morning, because I was constantly checking the stats. I was checking my stats. Okay, what was the average cart value? Cart value. Now, in other words, what a customer will buy on average, right? What's the timing? What's the geography? Okay, what's the demographic of the customer? The cool thing is that you have those stats because some of those customers were coming from Facebook, and Facebook is really great in terms of really giving you the demographics that you really want to really go after. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing I was doing also was actually paying attention to what my rivals were doing. Like I was constantly looking at some drop shipping pets, some pet drop shipping store, to see how their strategy was different from mine, whether they were selling a lot. And the thing is, I had tools such as SEMrush, and yeah, SEMrush was the one that I was using. I was using SEMrush and Moz, the free version, to see the traffic. I was actually spying on the traffic of those stores to see if they were really big. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention to marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy to see what was being sold there, because there I knew the traffic was actually tweaked, because the traffic is not because of the store itself. The traffic is partly because of Amazon, being the largest marketplace. So I was going after the independent stores, okay, because those stores were able to draw traffic based on their own SEO, own strategy. So I knew if I could really see whether they're doing better or worse than me, I can really tweak my own strategy. So that's something I was doing. So this is not basically it's not a 9 to 5 job. It is a constant battle. But if you do this, you can really reach like 6 digits in sales, okay, in a very short period of time. One thing I want to say also is that you have to understand that you do not want to be too greedy, okay. You can cut the price, you can reduce prices, make your prices very competitive. I made my prices very competitive. I was constantly trying to really look at my rivals, my closest rivals, and look at their prices and reducing my own price by 5 cents or 10 cents. And I also invested in some plugins. By the way, I think I didn't tell you. I mean, I had a WordPress website. I still have it, a WordPress website, and I was using some plugins to check certain things. The thing about WordPress is that you have a variety of plugins on the market, free and paid, that you can use to see how your store is doing. So that really has worked for me big time. So the takeaway here is, in today's conversation, I just shared with you how I made about $200,000 in 3 months by dropshipping US and European products. I gave you all the steps that I went through, from the budgeting, okay, all the way through promotion, and finally the SEO strategies that I use. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.